Hello. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Okay, let's start again. Oh, that's a fun view. I don't know. Do I want it like that? Or do I want it like this? Oh, that's quite fun, that one. I like this one. Which one did I have before? Yeah, that's a bit small. That one's all right. That one's a bit big. Could I get one in between? Okay, so yeah, just ask any questions you want. If you don't have any questions, then I will just use questions that I often get asked or that people asked me before. So I was just starting with my teacher introduction. So I started teaching a long time now. A long time ago, I started teaching English as a foreign language in South Korea in 2009. I started in a little city called, what was it called? Iksan in the south of South Korea. Hello Learning Club. And yes, but then I sadly that job didn't last very long, so I moved up to, I don't know next, a city near Seoul called Icheon. I taught in a private academy there for a year. That's what was it called? Hagwon. That's a private academy in South Korea. And then I went to another place. Where did I go next? Yeah, I think I went straight to the coast and a university, Gangneung University. I taught there for a year. Then I taught at another university for 2 years, Gangwon National University. And then I had a little break. 2014, I went to the next country, China. And that was fun. I taught at a private university there for a year. Ilsan. What's Ilsan? That's a city in South Korea. I didn't go there. I went to Iksan, and then Icheon, and then Gangneung, and then Chuncheon. And then after China, I came back to South Korea. Then I came to England. Then I went to this country, Vietnam. I taught there for 3 months, but in many different schools. An interesting experience, I shall say. And then France, I taught at a big business English school in Paris for a few months. Then back to the motherland, England, where I taught. I have been teaching since then. That was, I think, when was that? 2018, I came back to England. And I mostly am based in England now as an online teacher, but sometimes I go to other places. For example, I went to Turkey in 2022, Istanbul. That's a nice place to teach online. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the best internet, but Istanbul is a very nice, interesting place. And Manila, Philippines was my last overseas location in 2024, back in England again. So I have 3 teaching qualifications. Self-taught TEFL and Masters in Applied Linguistics. And I teach, what do I teach? General English, mostly. That's all the skills: reading, writing, listening, speaking, grammar, pronunciation. Also, I teach English exams, especially IELTS. I'm writing a book at the moment, B1 level general English book. I hope to make that book available maybe by the end of the year, but I will release little bits of it, materials, if people want to use it. I'm writing it with my best friend. ChatGPT is helping me, but I don't always listen to ChatGPT. It comes up with strange ideas, but very good help, mostly, generally. Okay, so we're just going to have a chat now. Any questions that you have, please put to me in the comments. And you can come on stage if you want. send me a message. I will give you the link and you can come and be a video or just a microphone guest. How are you today, Arisa? How is life in Indonesia? Okay. No response from Arisa. Hello, Learning Club. Oh, 2 people watching me. That's a shame. So I will talk mostly to myself. What was a common question I get asked? What was your favorite place to teach in? So I taught in total, I think, in 7 different countries. It's raining. Okay, it sounds like England. It's not raining in England, actually. It's nice weather here. So my favorite place to teach in, this is a question I'm often asked. Yeah, 7 different countries, many different towns and cities. Probably it would have to be, I think, you can't beat your first place you go to, like your first love. South Korea. Yeah, when I went there, yeah, I don't know, it's probably the most exciting time in your career when you go to teach and live in a new country for the first time. I wasn't that young, actually. I was nearly 30, but it was still quite exciting. So that's my favorite country. My favorite city, maybe Gangneung is a city in the on the east coast of South Korea. I taught there only for about 6 months, actually, at the university, 2 semesters. Have I been to Indonesia? Yes, Marisa, I went to Indonesia in 2012, I think, when I had just started my second university in Korea. And yeah, I was visiting a Korean friend there. Can't remember what she was doing exactly. She was doing some kind of charity voluntary work in Indonesia. I went to Jakarta where my friend was staying. And then we went to a beautiful place called, I think it's called Thousand Island or Thousand Islands, which apparently is not that far from Jakarta. Yeah, it was quite... Yeah, very beautiful, wild, lots of wild countryside. I was only there for a week, and so I can't remember that much. But yeah, it was quite a contrast to South Korea. Yeah, very nice. I know it's a very popular tourist holiday destination, isn't it, Indonesia? One of the most populous countries in the world, I think. Got a very high population, very big. Maybe I'll go back. Can I speak Korean, says Risa? Kind of. 안녕하세요. It comes back to me slowly. I can't even remember anything right now. 저는 영국 선생님이세요. Yeah, I went back recently to South Korea in 2023. I think I tried to speak Korean, but no one really seemed to understand me. So I think my Korean got even worse than it was to begin with. Yeah, unfortunately, there are many challenges for learning a difficult language like South Korean. I mean, it's completely different to English. I think it's on the opposite scale. So if you are a native English speaker, I think they call it level 5 out of difficulty. There's 5 difficulty levels because it's completely different. But I tried to learn it. I mean, I got all the books, I had a few lessons. But the other problem was that everyone wanted to speak to me in English because English is very popular over there, big business. And people see it as a way to get, I don't know, to be successful in life. So they saw me. I obviously didn't look Korean. They thought, yeah, you look like you're from Europe or America. So that everyone wanted to speak to me in English. I would try to speak Korean quite a lot, but people would, I think, they'd just start talking back to me in English, partly because my Korean was bad, partly because they wanted to practice their English. So my Korean never got very good, but it got quite good. I could deal quite well in limited situations. So it's not a European language, but to use the European level system, I got to maybe A2 level, pre-intermediate. But I still have many years. Maybe I will improve my Korean one day. You think it's because of my accent, Risa? You think what is because of my accent? That no one understood me speaking Korean? Yeah, I mean, people, when I spoke Korean, especially girls and women, they found it very funny. I don't know why they found it so humorous. I think because people in countries like that, they're not used to foreigners speaking their language, and it sounds very strange and funny to them. Especially when I mostly try to teach myself. So if you, yeah, I don't know, I just try to create my own sentences, which is very difficult without lessons, really, because it doesn't really use the same kind of grammar as English. And the pronunciation, yeah, you need a lot of help with that. So basically, yeah, my Korean sounded very strange, but I could communicate some basic things, especially the things I needed, like in restaurants, food and stuff and drink. Most of the young people back then, under the age of 40 especially, could generally speak at least some English. So you would have to practice your Korean with the older people, the middle-aged people and the old people, because generally, often, especially away from the big cities, they couldn't speak any English really. Yeah, no, I think that's one of the reasons, Risa, because of my accent, they couldn't understand me. The other reason, it was just very bad. So the vocabulary was very small. The grammatical knowledge, the grammar knowledge was very, very limited. So yeah, it was an interesting experience trying to learn Korean. I mean, I would not call it a failure. I can still, when I see Korean writing, I can read it, and I can have some basic conversations. How is your Russian learning going, Risa? Are you improving? You can also read the Korean alphabet. Yeah, it's probably easier than most people think to learn the Korean alphabet. It looks quite complicated, but they say most people can learn it in about 5 hours. Well, when I said I learned it, I mean I know the majority of it. I get confused with some of the vowel sounds, but I can still read it now, and I can write it a little bit basic, like my name and stuff like that. You stopped learning Russian, Risa. Why did you stop learning Russian? I want to focus on English first. I will learn Russian after I reach maybe you. Yeah, I think that's sensible. Russian, from what I've heard, is a very difficult language for most people. Maybe if you are from Eastern Europe, from Poland or Serbia or something like that, it might be easier because those languages are closer. But for most of us, Russian is just very different, and I've heard the grammar is difficult and the pronunciation. And to be honest, the use of Russian is not that useful. I mean, well, it's true. You do have a lot of former Soviet countries that speak it, but not to the same level of like English or French or Spanish, for example. Hello, Amwa. How are you? Do you want to come on stage? So you don't hear me just talking constantly, gibbering away. Yeah, maybe a good idea, research, but B2 level. Are you not B2 level yet? Yeah, well, it's Hangout. I don't know what the topic is. I think the idea is people ask me questions and I answer them. And I just answered some questions that I wrote down, which people often ask me because there are not that many people here. There are only 4 eyes I see on my computer. Hello, Ari, good morning. Yeah, Risa, I can't remember from I think we had an online lesson once. I think your level is higher than B1, no? Speaking. Or where did you get your level from? Did you you've never measured it? You believe you're a beginner. Have you done any tests, even an online test? I think you might be higher than you think you are. I mean, if you can hold some kind of conversation without difficulty in speaking, at least your level should might be as high as B2. That's if you are able to express yourself without struggling and understand without perfect English. Okay, yeah, maybe you come on stage one time and we can have a look at your English. Did you never do an IELTS speaking exam with me, Risa, maybe? Learning club. What is your advice to improve listening skills? Yeah, I guess someone would ask questions about English improvement. So yeah, help me because all of you are learning English. What did they say? Good question. Well, they say that it should be I don't know, mainly limited so you don't overwhelm yourself and not too difficult, close to the upper level you have. They say it's good to watch short videos and you can watch them again and again. They say if you get a small video clip, like 1 minute, if you watch it, what do they say? First watch it with subtitles in your language, then watch it again with subtitles in English, then watch it again with no subtitles. People tell me that's a good method. Obviously, the listening is connected to the other skills, so you will have to improve your vocabulary. You cannot understand words that you don't know. But if it's not a vocabulary problem, if you know all the words and can read them, then it's some specific listening issue. So you have to practice getting used to the speed and the pronunciation of words. What is your specific problem? It depends with the person. It could be a lack of vocabulary. It could be you're just not used to listening. You're not used to the pronunciation of the words. You're not used to hearing them quickly or linked together. Or at a more advanced level, it could be unfamiliar accents. It depends. Anwar says, how important is accent when we're speaking? I don't know. What do you mean? Do you mean, yeah, I think, as I say to students these days, as long as we can understand you, that's the main thing. So learn the correct pronunciation of words. And if you have any features of your accent which make it hard for people to understand you, maybe work on those. In terms of trying to sound like a native, I don't think you have to, but if you want to, you can try. I don't think it's that important. I know it's difficult, although I have met some non-native who have developed very good native-like pronunciation, but most people find that very difficult. So yeah, I hope that helps, Learning Club. Yeah, any other ideas from people? You have all, I guess, or a lot of you have managed to improve your listening, so you can give some tips from your personal experience. But as I said, yeah, mostly all the skills are connected, so make sure it's not a lack of anything. What's the difference between the pronounce and enunciate? Good question. I don't even know. What do the dictionaries say? Enunciate, I think, is about speaking clearly and making sure you don't mumble or eat your words, I guess. Yes, even as native speakers, there can be problems with, I suppose, yeah, enunciation. It's very common. Yes, sometimes I have to be careful to speak super clearly for my students and not mumble at all or eat my words. 'Cause sometimes, yeah, like all people, yeah, I will do that. Enunciate. Let me look in the dictionary. I think it just means speak clearly, open your mouth, and properly say the words. What does Oxford Dictionary say? Am I correct? To pronounce words or parts of words clearly. Yeah, it's something I really try to do to help my students. It's not a natural thing for me, and usually in my normal speech, maybe I don't enunciate as well as I could. Do you enunciate well, Risa? Yeah, I say this to all students, really. Yeah, really maybe speak more clearly than you think you have to. I mean, it's funny because we can hear, when we hear ourselves speaking in our heads, I don't think it's the same as how other people hear us. So that, I think, is one of the reasons why some people have problems. They think, oh yeah, everyone can understand me, but sometimes no, people cannot understand them. Risa, you don't think so? What don't you think? I feel stuck in the same level of English. How to improve? Well, I guess you are speaking a lot to non-native speakers, and you're using just all the familiar vocabulary. What are you doing with your self-study? Are you constantly learning new stuff? What is your vocabulary knowledge? Have you mastered, for example, the Oxford 3000? I always talk about this list. If you know all of these words, it's a good start. You can't do anything without the vocabulary. Oxford 3000 word list. I mean, what specific aspects do you want to improve? I quite enjoy reading because my vocabulary increases. Yes. What do you read, Ari? What kind of material? And Risa, sorry, what don't you think? Were you responding to me or Anwar or someone else? I want to get to level C1. What do you think your level is, Anwar? Have you done any actual tests? So you think it's B2? I think it's certainly B2. Could it be B2 plus maybe? I mean, you don't seem to struggle too much to express yourself, and I think you seem to understand. Do you understand everything I say? I don't know. You act as if you do. Yes, as I say, you don't enunciate well. That's where you said, I don't think so. Yes, even native speakers, we struggle. So I constantly concentrate on doing this because I know, especially my students, need me to enunciate as clearly as I can. It said B2, and what is it? Are you talking about the Hello Talk test? Yeah, so you want to get to closer to the native, like C1. Yeah, you just, well, improve your vocabulary is the main thing. And what are you lacking in grammar? Find the things you can't do and learn them and practice them. Yeah, I don't think you are a million miles away. So the next one to get to a higher level is the Oxford 5000 vocabulary list. Start having a look at these lists. To properly learn them, I recommend using special language learning websites such as Quizlet. I let students use my own Quizlet account. So what you do is you put the words into the program and it tests you again and again and again until it is happy you know the words. You can use websites or apps such as Quizlet to help you learn words. I'm just writing it into the comments. Anwar, Quizlet. Yeah, maybe I should switch to my whiteboard. I remember something from last lesson, last live stream even. Unfortunately, I could not get the, what could I not get? We could not see the comments afterwards. So I'll write some things on my classroom whiteboard. Let me just disappear into my classroom. So quiz, yeah, good vocabulary lists. Can everyone see my writing? Lists are the Oxford 3000 list, available online. Send me a message, I can send it to you. They just say this is what you need to get to B2 level. And then the Oxford 5000 list to get to C1, I think C1 plus level. So just lots and lots of extra words. Use websites such as Quizlet to help you learn vocabulary. So Quizlet will, as I said, you put the words in to the program and it will test you. It can give you a translation or a definition. They have word lists in the website. You can probably find the Oxford 5000 word list, or you can just make your own word list, maybe the words that you don't know. Ari says, a tip I use very often is, what is this? Sorry, I'm having a virus attack. I have to add remove all the many pop-ups from my screen. A tip I use very often is Glot Dojo file extension in YouTube in Double. It gives you subtitles. Oh, you mean for 2 languages? Yeah, that's a good thing to know. By the way, can anyone add subtitles to my speech? I want to add this for my live streams. I will write that down. Glot Dojo, dual language subtitles. Yeah, does that help you? Yeah, they say you can do that in different combinations. Sometimes use your own language, sometimes use English, sometimes subtitles, sometimes use nothing. I would like to improve my British accent, says Rihanna Gomez. What do you mean? Do you have, so you're trying to do a British accent now, and how good do you think it is? And why do you want to do this, by the way? It's fine if you want to. Yeah, you can. Well, just some students tell me they just copied. They listened to lots of YouTubers or British Netflix shows, and they naturally developed it. But other people need some help. You can get a teacher who can help you with pronunciation or special pronunciation lessons. I sometimes do pronunciation lessons. Many teachers do. Yeah, maybe we can hear a sample of your speech, Rihanna. Come on stage sometime. By British accent, I think you mean the most standard British accent, which we call RP, received pronunciation, which is kind of the sometimes called BBC English or the so-called upper class accent of the south east of England. I don't think you want, for example, a Liverpool accent or a Newcastle accent. Yeah, when you say the British accent, what kind of British accents are you listening to? Which actors or actresses or YouTubers, Rihanna? Let me know. Yeah, come on stage sometime. We can hear you. Oh, Sarah, British English, very useful to have you here. We're just talking about British. Why can't I speak today? British English pronunciation. And Sarah has good British English pronunciation, but she's not a native. How did you get such good British English pronunciation, Sarah? You woke up. Where are you, Sarah? In Egypt. It's quite late to wake up, isn't it? It's like 2:40. I think you're Egypt. Yeah, your tips would be appreciated, Sarah. A lot of people want to develop native style accents, American or British, but many people find it very difficult. Some people have some natural ability, they can do it easier than others. I think it depends on your age. The younger you are, they say, the easier it is to develop a native style accent, especially if you go to that country. For example, if you're 14 and go to the country, you have a good chance of getting quite a good accent. Over the age of 18, the older you are, I think it gets harder and harder. How old are you, Rihanna? Can you tell us? I mean, are you young or not young? Because that makes it easier. You stayed up late last night, Sarah. Yeah, so this is a hangout. I found that word on other live streams. I thought it was a good word. So we're just, I'm just taking questions from you and questions from my head, which are often asked. I have a problem. When I want to talk, my voice tone gets masculine. That's an interesting thing. I haven't heard much. I don't know if that's connected to language learning, is it? My voice tone gets masculine. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's weird, actually. Yeah, they do say men and women have a different way of speaking. I think, I think strangely, some people said that when I spoke Korean, that was a strange thing. I did sound sometimes like a girl because I copied some female speakers. So I don't know if that's connected, but there are male and female ways of speaking, it seems. Male voice tone. I haven't heard of that issue before. Ari says, in Brazil, most Brazilians speak American English. I need to practice more British too. Yeah, I think in a lot of countries. When I was in South Korea, for example, my first teaching country, their standard was American English. For historical reasons, they have a big connection to America with the Korean War in the 1950s. Since then, there have been lots of American people in the country. And sometimes, actually, they almost tried to tell me to change my own accent into an American accent a little bit, just because that was the model. sometimes I think they asked me to pretend I was American once, which I thought was strange. Is it because of copying, says Rihanna? Is what because of copying, Rihanna? So I suppose they say interaction is the best way for developing accents. So interact with people from that country, interact with people with a British accent. So you can do that on Hello Talk, the practice talking things, or ideally get a teacher or go to that country is the number one way. And when we say British, remember this is a big term. That includes many, many, many different types of accents. You're talking mostly about, I think, the RP or close to an RP, a standard British accent, which is the kind of middle-class style accent from the southeast of English. I wish I could go there. Did I say southeast of English? The southeast of England. I wish I could go there, says Sarah. No, Sarah, go where? The United Kingdom? Yeah, I'm sure you'll be able to one day. If you are a successful YouTuber, you could get some money and fly over. When I talk in an American accent, says Rihanna Gomez, my voice is like my voice, but British is not the same. Not sure what you mean like that. Oh, you're talking about the voice tone thing, are you? When you try and do a British accent, you'll find your voice tone changes. London, yes, the hub of Britain and the maybe one of the hubs of the English-speaking world. Yes, that's my hometown, London. I'm a little bit away there from it now. I've moved about 70 miles away, 120 kilometers away. Yeah, you're like London. It's very expensive, though. I must warn you, Sarah. So not many people can easily stay in comfort, at least in London, for that long. Ari says, in Brazil, I attend an English school and they are looking for a British tutor. I will send you a message. Thanks, Ari. I've never been to South America. I know that's it's generally a popular, what's the word, tourist destination. People love traveling around there. It's not so big in the English teaching scene, I don't think. Most people like to go to East Asia or Europe. I knew a few people who taught in South America, but thanks for that offer, Ari. Different accents, said Sarah. What do you mean by different accents? You want to learn different accents? There will be different accents. Why have I gone all small? I want to be bigger again. Let's make me bigger. Yes, said Rihanna Gomez. That's interesting. I don't know why that is. Your voice tone becomes more masculine when you try and do your British accent, does it? Not sure why that is. Yeah, so who are your models? Who are these British people you are listening to, Rihanna? I guess you're watching some of the popular Netflix series and stuff like that, or YouTubers. What are the British shows like? Game of Thrones, they're mostly British, aren't they? Stuff like that. The Crown, maybe. If you watch another popular British show, like, for example, the Peaky Blinders, then you'll get a very strange kind of English accent, which is the Birmingham accent or the Brummie accent. I'm not sure if most people want to sound like a Brummie, but it's interesting to listen to at least. Yes, says Rihanna. You mean you want to sound like these people from Netflix shows? Yeah, generally, not always, but they have something close to a sort of standard style British accent that is popular for like fantasy shows. but you will also get, sometimes they want a more sort of, what's the word, working class accent for, like, I don't know, country peasants and stuff. So you might get some of the working class British accents sometimes in these shows. Okay. No more questions for this second. So yeah, lots of, I don't know if it's a newer thing. I don't know, it seems to me the British accent seems to be becoming quite fashionable these days, or has been for a few years. I don't know, maybe because it's different. People feel that the American is standard. They feel it's, I don't know, more interesting, or they feel I don't know, a little bit special if they can have a British style accent. I don't know. I find a funny thing that the Americans generally like the sound of the British accent. When we say the British accent, again, we're talking about the Queen's English style, mostly received pronunciation. I don't think they often like some of the more regional British accents, and they might actually find them difficult to understand in the United States. I started to practice my accent with YouTube, says Rihanna. Pronunciation with Emma. Yeah, I've heard of English with Lucy. I heard they're quite good resources, which I might have a look at. How did she give you special exercises, Rihanna? Yeah, but they say immersion is the best way. Just go to that country. Strangely, London might not these days even be the best place to pick up a British accent. Other people from everywhere in the world in English. You'll hear all kinds of world English accents. Most of my old friends, my recent friends in London were not born in England. Is there any rule about word stress? Word stress. What do you mean? Any rule? A general rule, like Einstein's general rule of word stress? I don't know about any rules. Yeah, there are some rules. So generally, with the word, you just have to learn the stress. You know, the dictionary of the IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet, it will indicate the word stress. And these days, you can hear the word pronounced. So generally, what is it? No, there's only certain words. If they are a noun, it's a syllable one stress, and if it's a verb, it's a syllable two stressed. For example, record. I made a record, which you listen to, noun, syllable one stress. I record my voice, syllable two stress, verb. General rules for word stress, I can't think of any. What accent do I speak with? Yeah, you don't you don't have to call me sir, Rihanna. We're not at school, but it's a nice term of respect if you want to use it. Well, so as an English, I was born in London, and they have a special kind of English in London called, well, kind of Cockney is the working class dialect of London, or the London dialect. Yeah, spoken in to some degree by most people in London, but so that's not really the kind of English that learners of English want to learn. So I try to speak with something close to the RP, the received pronunciation. I'll just write that in my classroom. I think I must make myself smaller. Oh, maybe not that small. How do I make myself just a nice size? Now I've lost it. Oh, this one. Yeah, I like this one. So what was I going to say? Yeah, so I try and speak with received pronunciation. Often this can be called modified received pronunciation. So most people who come from the southeast of England will sound similar to this. Received pronunciation, or RP. Whoops, I can't write today. RP. No, not AP. RP. The standard. What should we call it? We call it BBC style pronunciation of the southeast of England. So, not all, but a lot of English teachers, especially from England, will try and speak with a kind of modified RP pronunciation because it's the kind of pronunciation which most students want. Not everyone, but most students. Let's make my screen a bit bigger. I mean, some students might be interested in different regional accents, like a Northern English accent, but it's not really the standard. Can you understand Adele's English? Adele, the singer. Do you mean when she's speaking? Adele sounds like she's probably from London or somewhere close to London. She just a little bit Cockney, as we call it. I mean, of course, I can understand her. Only a very few people with very strong accents or even dialects who speak English, I cannot understand. And even people with strong accents and dialects, I will understand 99 or 98% of what they say. Oh, you're not asking me. Were you asking Rihanna? Sorry. I thought you were asking me. Maybe that was silly of me to think that. So Rihanna cannot understand Adele's English. Yeah. So yeah, British accents seems to be quite a popular interest that students ask about. So maybe I could do a live stream on that at some stage. So I think, as they say, the best way to do that is immersion. So speak to people with the accent that you want. So the full immersion, you'd go to that country. As I said, maybe not London these days, as London is so international. People are from everywhere, especially in around the center of the city. Are you asking me? Well, of course I can understand Adele's English. She's a native speaker. I guess she's from London or close to London. Though when she sings, she doesn't sing with a London accent. Yeah, any more questions or suggestions? I want suggestions for new live streams. It's coming close to the end now, so I'm thinking about lunch, as it's nearly 2 o'clock in England and I haven't eaten since breakfast. So I had this idea for my next live stream. On Monday, I want to do a read-along for Titanic. I did this a few months ago. It's very popular because it's one of the most popular ever films. So we can watch some clips from the film, talk about it, and read the story. Well, you will help me. You can come on stage and help me read. Again, we don't want me to talk all the time. I'm a bit sad no one came on stage today. I'm a bit afraid of speaking, says Rihanna. You mean speaking in public? Yeah, you should try and lose this fear. I don't know what it is. A lot of students have this. They're afraid that people will laugh if they make mistakes or they sound strange. I don't know. Where are you from, by the way, Rihanna? Are you from somewhere are you from Spain or South America or somewhere like that? Why do singers lose their British accent when they're singing? I don't know. I'm not even sure what accent she sings in either a neutral British accent or maybe a slightly American accent, or maybe something which we could call a transatlantic accent, which means kind of half English, half American. Well, certainly, I don't know. Traditionally, people will not want to sing in a regional accent. They will, I don't know, they'll think it will make the quality sound less or almost comical. But sometimes people can sing. It always sounds a bit funny when people sing in a London accent, but some artists will do it sometimes. You'll do only the live through YouTube, the live streams. So there's a small issue with Hello Talk at the moment. So before they were giving teachers a small teaching subsidy for live streams. Now there is nothing. So that's one of the reasons why I'm moving to YouTube. But I still hope to do one Hello Talk live stream a week, and maybe more in future. Hello Talk told me that, what did they tell me? That they maybe will bring it back, the teacher subsidy, in future. And yeah, YouTube just makes more sense for me if I grow my channel and I can get awareness through this. And yeah, so I can potentially get students through this channel. And yeah, you can monetize through YouTube. It's not easy, but if you get popular. You live in Germany. Okay, but are you from Germany, Rihanna? If you mind me asking. Yeah, any more questions? Or I will head off fairly soon. Can you give us links for videos of listening and pronunciation as well? What kind of listening and pronunciation videos are you talking about? I don't really know. I can find some. You mean other YouTubers, or do you mean like, I'm not sure what you mean. I'll have a look, and I don't know. Are you on Hello Talk? Or you can send me a message somehow on YouTube. I don't know. I'll try and help you. That's enough from me. Yeah, so the next live stream I want to do will be a Titanic read along on Monday. Then I will do an English exams live stream, I think on Thursday. I think I will concentrate. Oh, really? Okay, Afghanistan. I think I will do maybe IELTS speaking and listening. If you're interested, many students like that. So if you're brave, send me a message. I can give you a little link and you can come on stage and you can do a full IELTS speaking exam on stage. It's always nice if people can sometimes introduce me on stage. He might be Monday's topic. What might be Monday's topic? Oh, you mean giving links about listening and pronunciation? Videos of listening and pronunciation. Yeah, let me write that down. I think one of the students told you, I can't remember, was it you, Rihanna? There's some good YouTubers out there. English with Lucy, they do exercises. Maybe Sarah can help you. Any good listening or pronunciation video links to help Learning Club? I will try to make such videos in the future. Public speaking. Yes, this is a very common fear. Are you just afraid of public speaking in the English language, or your native language also? I think most people in the world have this fear. I'm back. I didn't realize you went anywhere, Sarah, but thanks for coming back. Any more questions? One or two questions. Ideas for the future. What will I do? Yeah, I like to do music sometimes. I'll do music live streams where I can sing a song and do it as a listening exercise, and you have to find the missing words. I can do just games one. Read-alongs are popular. I have a lot of stories I created either from films or books, which we can read on together. How do you go on stage? To be honest, I think I have to end this one now for various reasons, but I think I sent you maybe I didn't send you the link, but in future, Sarah, I just send you the link to Hello Talk or whatever. Click on the link and then it will take you to the YouTube studio. And then I can take you onto the stage. So yeah, we can do it next time maybe. That would be good. Yeah, I really would like to have some guests. So yeah, if you agree, because I plan to have these videos available to watch. So if you are okay to be on the videos, then come on. Obviously, you can come on with no camera if you want. Some people want to be without a camera, invisible. That's fine. But it's nice to have some people on with a video. And we can play with all the different settings. I like this one with the nice big video. But this one is good if you want to look at the whiteboard or some other PDF. Okay, any ideas, people? Other live streams I can do? Or they could just be a live stream answering a question. Okay, I might wind it up. That means end it for today. So thank you for everyone who came, for hanging out in the Hangout. That is, yes, Risa, Anwar, Learning Club, Ari, Sarah, and Rihanna Gomez. So yeah, my next YouTube live stream will be Monday, same time, which is UK time, 1 o'clock, UK time, 8 o'clock, Beijing time. Sorry, I can't remember all the other times. I will have to learn all the other times. What is it? 5:30 India time. Sarah, British English, I can't remember. Are you in Egypt? I know Egypt time, I think, is UK time plus 1 hour. Yes, my stomach is telling me it's time for a lunch break. Let's have a quick lunch break then. Okay, everyone, yeah, and yeah, I'll be back on Hello Talk Wednesday, 1 o'clock UK time, 8 o'clock Beijing time. I will also do the English exams live stream. Yes, you are one. Yeah, Egypt, Cairo time is London time plus 1. Okay, let's go then. See you all again. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me on this Saturday. Over and out.